Hi, REI YouTubers. This is Mike coming at you with another video. Today, we're going to be going over Propstream. My Propstream is through Sean Terry with REI Automator, I think it's called. I'm just going to be showing you some of the features that you get with it. As always, I don't get paid for this. I'm just kind of doing this to help everybody out, to kind of give people that maybe have never used the software, the platform, an idea of what it's capable of doing and how it can actually help you. So let's get into it. All right. Let's go ahead and screen share. Okay. So this is Propstream. So, all right, so you have a bunch of different modules here. My properties, contacts, skip tracing, campaigns, and we'll go over that kind of briefly. It's a lot of it's self-explanatory. Contacts is just like all your, essentially your leads. And also, if you did any skip tracing, it'll have all the information from skip tracing as well. They do offer skip tracing. I don't really use it. There's been quite a few people that have said they didn't really like it as much. But I mean, I don't know, maybe some people use it and they love it. You know, it's one of those age-old adages. You don't ever hear about the people that love something. It's always the people that don't like it. They do have a spot for campaigns. Again, I don't really use it just because I only cold call, but they have campaign setups for mail, voicemail, and what was the other one? Voicemail, mail, and email campaigns. That's right. So I don't know, something, if you're interested, you should probably look at a little bit more. Like I said, I don't do it, so I would be the wrong person to try to make a video for it, but I can at least kind of give you guys an idea of what it does. So let's go ahead and put in some information. So we're going to do Gwinnett County, Georgia. All right. Okay. So it's going to give you all the MLS properties, the properties pre-foreclosure, auction properties, bank-owned, cash buyers, liens, vacant, high equity. And these are all your lists. All right. Now, when you're pulling lists, you're going to want to kind of get that down a little bit. So I'll give you an for instance. So let's say we're doing vacant, and we're going to kind of just briefly go over this because this is it's a larger topic that I'd like to cover in a video all by itself. But okay, so you're going to do vacant. Okay, so then we're going to go to filter. Okay, and we want to pull a vacant list. All right, we're going to choose any owner occupancy. We're going to do characteristics. All right, so we are going to do single family. If you want to do condo, you can do condo, multifamily, and I like to also put land in here. I think it's under like vacant land. Yep, there it is. And vacant land. Okay. And we're going to do, I don't like going after anything that is bigger than 2,000 square feet. And I don't like going after anything that's newer than 1990. It just helps you kind of weed out like properties that are going to be just way too nice. Well, I shouldn't say way too nice, but that are going to be newer. And the newer the property, obviously, it's less likely that the property is going to be distressed. So then they're less likely to maybe go for a cash offer. So bedrooms, we'll leave that. Like I said, you can mess with a lot of this stuff. Property characteristics, I think that's about it on this that it changed. I mean, you could do bedrooms max 4, but again, it just depends on what you're going after. So MLS status, this one I really like to do, and I'd like to say on market no. So that way it takes out anything that's currently on the market. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of people that do on market stuff. It's just not what I'm interested in. Okay. And this is foreclosure. We're going to leave that. Years of ownership, I like to always do at least 5. Okay. And we're going to go individual and corporate. And last sale price, we're going to do 150,000. No more than that. The reason being is we want to make sure there's equity in these properties. All right. I don't touch any of those. All right, so estimated equity. Okay, so this one's kind of a loaded question. It depends on how many properties there are to begin with. So I want there to be at least 70% equity, or at least 30% equity in the property. Sometimes I'll go as high as like 50%. It just kind of depends on the list. And it also depends on the value of the properties in that area. So if it's a higher end area, I'll do, a higher or a lower estimated equity, just because that estimated equity amount is going to be worth more in dollars than some of the lower end neighborhoods, where you might want to go 40-50%. It just kind of, like I said, it just depends on what your market is and what's going on in your market. So I would say minimum 30, but if you're seeing like large amount of properties, if you still have like 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 properties, you can bump that up maybe to 50% equity, and that should help with that a lot. So that's what I like to put in. I like it to be vacant, for a vacant list, obviously. Single family, multifamily land, no more than 2,000 square feet. Year built is going to be 1990 or earlier. It can't be on the market. 5 years of ownership. Ownership type, so let me go over this real quick. Ownership type just means who owns it. So if I, Mike Keller, own a property, that's an individual. If I have a company like an LLC or corporation, or Keller Properties, that owns the property, then it would be considered a corporate property. And there's also like trust properties. So like if the owner of the property is a trust, it's a little bit different, but it's essentially more like it's just it's another entity, a different entity that owns that property. And then, like I said, you can mess with this a little bit. Maybe you don't have this in here. The only issue that I have is then you're relying solely on you're relying solely on the equity. So you might put, like, let's say, let's see here. So you might say submit equity minimum 30%. So that's going to take that number down to 264. And you can do dollar amounts. I mean, it just depends. So the reason why I do estimated equity rather than like a loan to value is that they might, let's say they have a loan to value of 50%. So let's say their house is worth 300,000, they owe 150,000. Now, if it was just that, and that's the same as equity, that would be 50% equity, right? But what if they also have a tax lien of, $120,000, and you're going to see things like that come up. Now, all of a sudden, their estimated equity is a lot less, right? So that's going to have to be paid. That lien is going to have to be paid before you close. So that's going to come out of any potential equity that you're trying to give your cash buyers, or if you're fix and flipping it yourself, the equity that you're getting into the deal automatically, and that's essentially going to decrease your profits. Or if it's like a rental, it's going to decrease you guys get it. But so it's just something to be aware of. You can play around with some of these things, but some of it may or may not be for you. Like, it's cool to see, but anyways, though. All right, you guys get it. All right, so let's do this. Let's pull up a pre-foreclosure list. All right, and we are just going to pick a property to look at. We're going to look at this one. Okay. So it's going to give you all of the information about the property, how many beds, baths, and this is usually pretty accurate. Let's see, it's going to give you any tax assessment information. Going to give you any mortgage, who's bought the property recently, things like that. All right, it's also going to give you the pre-foreclosure, where it's at, the attorney that's listed with it. Lien, it's going to give you any liens. So it looks like there's the state tax lien for $2,400. And let's see, what is this? Oh, that's just the recording date, and then the parties involved, obviously. Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. So let's see. So they also have a rehab calculator, which is pretty cool for anybody that's looking to rehab it. It'll help you determine how much, how much fat is in the property, if you will. And then they have offer automator, which is kind of nice. So it helps you with the comps. This is their comp tool. So let's say, all right, let's just pretend I'm not going to actually do comps with you guys, just only because, again, that's kind of like a separate video. But let's just say these three are the best comps for it. All right, so it's going to give you the average ARV, the square footage, and what their proposed, ARV is for those three comps. Okay, so then they're going to say, All right, so let's see. Does it already have my information in? Sorry guys, I don't really use Propstream as much anymore, so it's been a little while. All right. Okay, so okay, so okay. So it's assuming that your exit price is going to be more than the ARV. I don't like that idea. I think it should be 100% based on current comps. Create click to update. Oh, okay. So based on the current comps, they didn't have this last time I was in there. So apparently it accounts for the additional, the amount that you should be able to sell it for above the ARV, considering when the last they were sold. Maybe I still don't like that. We're just going to do 100%. I mean, it's great if you can sell it for more than, so you're going to put in your desired profit. So let's say you want to make 20,000 on it. All right. All right. So it's going to give you your wiggle room. So essentially that's going to be the amount you're going to negotiate. So your first, let's say, offer might be 205, and they're like, oh, I can't go that low, can you do 230? And maybe then you go, okay, well, I'll tell you what, let's I can give you 5,000 more. And let's just say they accept it. So now you're between your max possible offer, which is 215, which is what you need to get it at if you're going to get at least $20,000 profit, and the goal, which is 205. And essentially what the goal is it keeps you from offering too low, and your max possible offer, make sure that you have a built-in profit put in. Again, that's some of this is a little bit, for another day type of thing, but that just gives you kind of an idea of what the offer analysis is. Essentially, it's just protecting your profit that you want to make on the deal. Now, this is a little jaded because I think really the this should be the exit price is not going to be that. Let's just say it's 70% of the actual, because let's just pretend that that's what you determine it's going to cost. The 30% is what it's going to cost, and their profit and all that other good stuff for the flipper. So the flipper is going to pay you 165,000. You're going to lock it up for between 137 and 145, giving you between a $20,000 and $27,000 profit, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying that that's what you would, I'm just giving you an example. So, and you can save it, which is kind of nice. And go through all your saved offers. Let me think, what would be another good thing to show you guys on this? We did the list pulling. I'll tell you what, I'm going to, let's see. Let's do another one. All right, so it's gonna show you your lien picture, or I wish it's gonna show you the lien information. It looks like they have an HOA lien for $33,000. Wow, oof, ouch. It was built in 2004. So with the earlier ones, like 2004, you can still knock those if it's pre-foreclosure. Pre-foreclosure is a little special because they got to do something. They either got to sell it, they got to figure out how to come up with the money, or it's going to be auctioned, and they are going to lose everything that they have in the deal. So it's, pre-foreclosures, I'll just tell you, I don't call pre-foreclosures. The people that I see have the best luck with pre-foreclosures generally are going to knock the doors of the pre-foreclosure. Some people don't feel comfortable doing that. If you don't, that's okay. Don't do it. But that's really the best way to do pre-foreclosure properties, is by knocking the doors. Some people I know call and then knock, but that's kind of up to you. It's going to have, if it's listed, any MLS information. Looks like it was listed for $300,000. And it still hasn't sold. Yeah. Oh, it failed on the market. Oh, well, estimated value. I mean, this isn't an ARV, but it's going to give you an idea. My guess, it was just a Hail Mary kind of thing, and it's unfortunate, but people aren't going to be able to pay more than the price of the property in a lot of situations. I'm not saying it never happens, but that's a lot over the price of the property, it sounds like. Okay, so it gives you property tax information. Just like before, it'll give you the ability to look at comps. You can put in what information, so like a half mile, number of bedrooms, minimum. And again, I apologize for some of you guys have seen platforms like this. A lot of them are kind of the same. You're going to be able to do this with a lot of comping tools. And really with Zillow and Redfin, for that matter, if you want to do it for free, it's not a bad way to do it. I mean, I still like doing it with the platforms. Like I said, I use batch leads instead, but it's the comping tool in Propstream is actually really nice. It's one of the things I really like about Propstream, is that their comping tool, I feel like, is really good. Oh, I know one other thing that I can show you real quick before I let you guys go. This is kind of cool. So if you go to analytics, all right, you can look at price growth, all right? And we're going to look at price growth over the last, let's say, year, okay? So it's going to show you what areas are hot. So that's an area that a lot of people are buying in, okay? So let's go out a little bit further. All right, so as you can see, like, it's going to show you the pockets of that area that are doing well in. Looks like right there in Loganville. I mean, we could do this for a long time, but you guys get the picture. That's one really nice thing that I like about Propstream that they do, is it shows you kind of where people are buying. So you can better look at what areas you should be that you should be marketing in. So as you can see, it does that too for anywhere anywhere that you're looking to invest. So some people know about that trick, some people don't. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys that. But yeah, they have different analytics as well, as far as like rental value, and I think that's like yeah, it tells you, how much your rent square footage, where it's highest, kind of thing. So maybe um, portfolio owners might see value in that. For flippers, it has estimated value information. What areas, again, are going to be hot. So, just if it's something you'd be interested in, like I said, I have REI Automator, which again is the exact same thing as Propstream. So, I mean, either way, it's the same thing. But you can go to Propstream to, I think they have a 7-day trial or a 10-day trial, something like that, usually. One other really nice thing about Propstream is that they have a Driving for Dollars app, or a Propstream app, which I've used before if you're actually going out driving and not doing virtual like I do. It's not awful. It definitely, if you're on a budget and it's like, I want both, but I can't afford 2 different apps, it's not a bad way to do it. But personally, I absolutely still like Deal Machine or Batch Driven better than using the Propstream app. But on a budget, I get it. So again, if you guys have any questions, we will I'll try to answer them. Otherwise, shoot me over an email, smkeller82@gmail.com. I'd love to be able to help. Or if you have just anything that you'd like to see, please let me know. I'd love to be able to help you guys in any way. All right, you guys have a great day. Again, keep on working at it. No matter where you're at, just keep moving forward, man. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. I think that so many people get caught up on where they're not, and they forget that it's about growing the inches, right? So if you can just get 1% better every day, even for a year, I think you'd end up being 37 times better than you are today. So something to think about. If you're looking for a book to read that is along those same lines, I recommend Atomic Habits. It's a great book. It kind of goes over the psychology of setting small goals, and like I said, getting 1% better every day. It's really good. Another book that's amazing that a lot of people have heard of is The Compound Effect. That is also, both of them are very much action taker books, but that's a little bit more action taker rather than, kind of like the psychology between it. But the reason why I like Atomic Habits is, although it does go into the psychology of it, it tells you how to use that psychology to get better at growing. So just Another thing for you guys to look at. All right, hopefully you got something from this video. We're going to be doing a batch leads one, and if you guys want to do any other ones, please let me know. We'll try to make that happen as well. Other than that, have a great day.